What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Mowaj. Blame Moses for this one. And today we're talking about the NIL. The NIL. Now, what am I going to say about the NIL? I know I've been covering a lot of heavy topics, but it's time to spin over to sports. NIL. What school paid the most in paying players for an NIL deal? Who has put together or orchestrated a team that's worth millions? What school has the top NIL collective resources? Meaning that they got the bag to spend on players. That means they can bring in top players, 5 stars, and more 5 stars, and even probably dibble-dabble in 6 stars, but there's no such thing as 6 stars, but you know what I mean. They're gonna bring in a collective group of 5-star recruits, and they're able to pay them. So who is that school? And does having the top NIL players results into championships?
I mean, that's the goal.
Think about it. So it's safe to say that the people with the highest NIL roster should win a national championship every year, or even at least competing for a national championship. Or does having top players that get paid the most money calculate to a championship? The top NIL teams for this 2026 year, starting off is Texas. University of Texas.
Hook 'em horn.
Texas has spent $47 million on NIL.
God, that's a lot of money.
47 million. 23 million coming out of the transfer portal.
It ain't bragging if you got
And guess who's ranked number 1 in the college football polls? University of Texas, you guessed right. But does that result to a national championship? Should they win a national championship? Or is Oklahoma going to continue to spoil their party every year at the Red River Rally? Before we get more into our video, a quick word from our sponsors. Why choose JML Levitate Nutrition? Your body is your greatest investment. Fuel it with intention. Don't just dream big, perform big. Don't just exist, levitate. Oregon spent about $35 to $40 million on players, either in the transfer portal, current players, or players coming from high school and transitioning to college. And LSU and Ohio State spent about the same amount of money as Oregon, between $35 and $40 million on NIL. So does this guarantee them a championship? Looking at past NBA championship teams, or looking at past NFL Super Bowl winning teams, does paying all the money for these top players equivalent to a championship? It should, so why we invest our money? Why spend all this money on a roster and you don't get no ROI, return on investment? Looking at the top NIL schools, you have Texas, Oregon, LSU, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Georgia, Miami, Tennessee, Alabama. So based on this NIL, do you think these top 10 colleges will be in a college football playoffs? Or would they be upset by an unknown team that doesn't collectively have a big NIL roster? So looking at the NFL, who had the top salary caps? In 2023, it was the Cleveland Browns who had the highest salary cap.
Trash.
You already know how they did in 2023 because Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl that year. And based on a salary cap, they were sitting at number 21. Meaning that they was all the way down the ranks when it comes to salary cap. But they won the Super Bowl. They had the best team. The Philadelphia Eagles was ranked number 1 in payroll cap spending because their future spending was counted against them. Meaning they was ranked number 17th in the league in its totality, but the future bargaining spending agreements against the Philadelphia Eagles made them number 1. In 2025, my sorry Dolphins was ranked number 1 and spending the most money to build a franchise team, and you already know how the Miami Dolphins did. So I said all of that to say, if we look at the NBA, same thing happens. The team that spends the most money usually don't win the championships, right? The Thunder won the championships a year ago. The New York Knicks won the championship this year. If we look at the NBA for teams that spend a lot of money on franchise players or try to put together a big 3 like they did one time in Miami, we know that doesn't result to championships, right? Because last year or this year that's passed, the New York Knicks just won it in 2026. They wasn't ranked heavily in cap room spending or franchise player tag. The Oklahoma City Thunder last year wasn't ranked in the cap room spending. And then previous before that, the Boston Celtics. Now watch this. Moving forward, the Boston Celtics became one of those franchises that spent a lot of money on top players and they haven't performed well since. The Oklahoma City Thunder began to play their players max deals, and you see what they did in the 2026 seasons. So we're saying all of this because when you spend all this money on great players, you lose out on the team. We know in college you just can't buy a team. You got to put together a team. They got to buy into the culture. They got to buy into the understanding of the coach. They got to buy into wanting to be a Oklahoma Sooner or a Miami Hurricane. They got to buy into the tradition. They got to buy into the tradition of being a Florida State Seminole. They got to buy into the tradition of being a Georgia Bulldog, a Texas Longhorn. They got to buy into that tradition to create a team. And as we know, University of Miami, Indiana didn't have that high spending value. There was an underdog. And we've seen this at time and time and time again. The little engine that could always prevail over those big horses that's trying to go after those big players, those 5-star recruits, and forget to build a team behind it. Because nobody really have no loyalty. They just chasing the bag. And you see that on the field with the chemistry, with the connection, right? Those players that's chasing bags that don't buy into a system. Like you have some programs that these kids come there their freshman year and they begin to get money throughout and then they graduate from that same school. But then you have other programs that transfers, they go to the transfer portal, pick up a player here, pick up a player there, pick up a quarterback there, and they try to piece together a team. And they have not been successful. So what's your thoughts? Do you think that the team that spends the most money on NIL, collective bargaining agreements with these players, are they guaranteed championships? Do you think the Texas Longhorn can win a championship this year? Or the Oregon Ducks? Or LSU? Or would it be an unknown team that nobody knows about that wins it all? For more videos and trending topics, like, comment, and share. Till next time.